Begin to let the breath flow all the way down into the low part of the belly. Just keep the breath flowing like that for a moment. Just deep, deep inhale. And a nice relaxed exhale. The amazing thing about this deep breath is that by allowing the belly to expand out, it's pulling the diaphragm down. And what that does is make it so that we can breathe air into some of the lower lobes of the lungs. In our society, generally people tend to sit in kind of hunched over postures, and we tend to take very shallow breaths. So oftentimes those low lobes of the lungs don't get much airflow. So here, as we're really trying to breathe into the belly, those low lobes are getting a chance to get touched with oxygen. Imagine food is not our only fuel. We also are fueled by oxygen. That deep breath is getting us started off in a really good way. And imagine that breathing deep like this, it's almost like an invitation to come into a hibernation, like a bear and how it hibernates during the winter. That gives its body a chance to relax and just rest, come into a very slow metabolic state. And this makes it so that, you know, its life cycle is able to be accomplished much more easily. It's able to be a much more powerful bear because it can take that break for a while. It's able to, you know, take a break when their food's not quite so abundant. So maybe humans, while we don't actually just sleep for 3 or 4 months at a time, maybe we could use that idea of resting during these winter cold months so that our body has a chance to heal and recoup so that we have more energy during the springtime. So today will be a nice class. We'll do a couple of things that warm us up a little bit, but for the most part, we're mostly stretching, and especially stretching into hamstrings, allowing the muscle groups to become very, very long, to have extra length and mobility and flexibility because of our time that we're spending together. And so that's the idea that will lead us into our class today. Just take it slow, take it easy, just enjoy every stretch. So with all that to get us started, let's begin. Arms all the way to the back wall, and shoulders can go right, and shoulders can go left. Just take a nice, easy lean to each side. See if you can get your body oriented in a way that feels good for the ribs. Bring them a chance to stretch so that they can be in the most optimal position for our deep breathing. Good. So as that starts to feel really complete, let's hug our hands around the right knee. Maybe we're doing a couple of ankle rolls for just a moment. Sooner or later, when you're ready, let this right leg stretch all the way up to the sky. This is our first hamstring stretch, so don't feel like we're forcing anything too quickly. Just enjoy the chance to be here, stretching, elongating all those fibers, and kind of just rest in the most easeful way possible. Take a nice inhale. Exhale, this leg can drop all the way down. Second knee in. Give it a couple of ankle rolls. Then when you're ready for the hamstring, let it extend all the way up. Give this side another deep breath in, out, and dropping this leg down. Let's go back to the first side, directly to hamstring stretch. Notice already if this side is able to go just a hair deeper than it was a moment ago. From here, we'll hook the heel, slide the shin in, taking that nice pigeon pose variation, laying on our back. It's important when we're focusing on hamstrings to ensure that we're also stretching the muscle groups surrounding it. So that's helping us with the hip rate. You're ready for the leg to stretch back up to the sky. Feel the hamstring yet again. Is it willing to go even deeper? Are the muscles getting more used to this long arrangement? As we start to relax that one down, second leg goes directly to hamstring stretch. Lift the heel over, slide it in. Going back up for that hamstring, give it another moment, a good breath or two. Good. When we drop the leg all the way down, let's leave the legs inside. We're coming up to sit. You have two options here. You can either take the hamstring stretch, that's sliding the hands forward over both straight legs. Or if you're in a place where you want to work on more of your space in between your shoulder blades, you can slide the heels closer, letting the knees go wide. This will allow you to pump the elbows forward of the end of the fabric, press hands behind head and drop down. So whichever variation feels best for what you've got going on today, give it a couple of moments and stretch it out. Kind of breathe back into that deep belly space. One more good breath in. And with our exhale, sitting the spine back up, kick the feet off the front. Here we can go into our first inversion. Just put the thumbs behind you. Wrap the legs around the fabric as you tilt back, and just let that spine have a chance to have length. Any variations you want to play with are fine. If anybody is more active and wants to do crunches, that's beautiful. Anybody that just wants to hang or add twists, shoulder stretches, any of that can be absolutely welcome for the system. So know that if you, just like with my normal classes, if you know within your body to stay a little bit longer, if it's touching the spots that need the attention, stay a little bit longer. There's nothing wrong with that. If you're sticking with me, go ahead and make your way up so we can let our blood pressure recover for a couple breaths. I'm gonna bump our thermostat down so we don't get too warm here. Good. So if you're feeling good within your body, everything feels readjusted, recalibrated. Let's take a couple of poses deeper inside. So we'll bunch up the fabric to the side that faces you to me most easily. Lock your arms straight. And then the leg that just got hiked up, swing that leg up and over. You can take both heels inside. Give it a moment. Legs spreading out wide. Engage the core just a hair to try to straighten up the spine, but then arm strength helps to push us open. Coming up to a standing position, make sure your feet are set all the way inside. And then we'll slide our heels close to the glutes, popping the knees out. Gripping into the fabric in front of you, nice and high. You can swivel the feet underneath us. And from there, all we have to do to stand, grip up high and stand. So we'll face forward first. So for those of us in here, that's the mirror side. So you'll take the grip this time to be the fabric that would be facing to that front. You're gripping onto the fabric, and then you'll head as deep in the slip as you want to go. We'll pause for about 5 breaths. We're gripping on, so arm strength is helping us control how deep we take it. Eventually, when we're ready to drop down onto the back knee, you can have 2 options. Either slide the hands down to the toes to take half splits, or keep the hands high and let the front leg go forward, back leg back. This one just resting. Your choice. Good. So we'll head to the second side. You can either sit and then do that whole process to stand back up, or if your back toes are still in a good spot that you can lift from, grip up high, come up to standing side, then you'll face your way to the other direction. Good. Once your hands have walked all the way to the other side, you're gripping on. You can allow one leg to go forward, one leg to go backward. Maybe that 3, 4, 5 breaths or so. Eventually dropping to the back knee when you're ready. Either slide forward for that nice half split, or gripping up high still, let some kind of more of your whole hips area head into the splits with you. Good, so enjoying another good inhale. Exhale. We'll come back up to stand. So again, if you can just grip up high, anchor off the back toes and rise, that's great. The last thing we'll do here is face back where we were when we started to stand. So you've now got the fabric that's in front of your chest. You're gripping one hand on each side. So, and then from here, we'll take the side splits. So one leg to the front of your room, one leg to the back of your room. You get to choose how long you stay here, probably based on your grip strength. The moment when you're ready to settle down, you'll swivel the legs out into that, sitting in that wide figure V shape. Good. So when we're sitting again, sooner or later, slide the right hand on the right leg, left hand up and over. Rising up, switch it out. Sliding left hand down, right hand up and over. Good. Rising back up, take the legs out, so we're back to fabric at the knees. And then like a taco shell folded up, let's take ourselves with both legs onto the fabric in front of us. So I push one hand into the fabric in front of my face. That creates the place where I'll put my foot. So then grab your available foot, place it up there. As soon as you've got one foot up, the other foot just needs to come next to the first. And then just see how high up the legs want to stretch today. If they want to be a little bit bent, let them be a little bit bent. If they want to be all the way straight, even pushing into the fabric to make it easier, let that happen. If you try to relax more and more muscle groups, that'll start to deepen the stretch. So just choose choose which variation you want. But especially start to return, if you lost it, back to that deep belly breath. It's almost like our hibernation breath. All the way down there, filling up even the low lungs, the low lobes of the lungs with air. Some of us may just know within our system that this is where we should stay for a bit longer. If anybody knows that they should go toward cobbler's pose, you could begin to shift to that shape. You ever get like rocking like crazy and you don't like it? Just kind of like push your feet into the fabric and your back, and then kind of stretch your arms out wide with the fabric, and that'll usually stop it. Good. So wherever we ended up, let's take 2 more breaths all the way deep into that belly space. And from here, we'll begin to free our way off the front. Let's head toward vampire. all guide us through our hamstring stretch variations, stepping a foot on the ground, stretching back. But if anybody doesn't want that and you know within your system to do something else, you don't have to. Play with your vampire variations. So a good thin layer of fabric all the way, like a cat sleeve, all the way up over the shoulders. All the excess is brought down to the feet. And that will make it such that we can take the right foot in and the left foot out of the excess fabric. So once we're there, grip the hands up onto the fabric, feet rise, press outward into the fabric right where we gripped, and then slide up. Good. So if you're going with me, the foot that's in the fabric, that right one, drops in front of your chest. Then left foot is able to go all the way stuck into the ground, and just sink backwards like a split. Breath into the belly. When you're ready to come out, you could either roll all the way in or just step into the pocket and step the other foot to the floor. Either way, we'll end up with second side. Deep breath into the belly. Nice exhale. Perhaps step into the pocket or roll all the way in. From here, this will be some free time. You can play with any other variations of vampire, or you can come up to the Shavasana at any point that you're ready. It's really up to you. Just keep on playing, enjoying, helping your body continue to relax. Just like before, if you're still playing, enjoying some awesome things, or if your body needs to get brought back into balance, go ahead and keep on playing until your body comes to that perfect balance, left and right side feeling good. Eventually, when you're ready to rest, take our Shavasana for a little while, and listen for that moment when your body knows it would be safe to sit up. Only when your body says so, go ahead and head there, but don't feel a rush, especially if you just came out. And so still, if you need more time, take it. When you reach that point where you're safe to come up to stand, let's grab onto the fabric and lift our way up and out. Take the fabric right underneath shoulder blades, walking back, take all the slack out. And leave it under shoulder blades. Make sure it doesn't rise up into the armpit area. So we start to inch our way forward until hips are under plumb line. It's like we're sitting heavy. So you've got all sorts of things you can play with here. You could take some hip stretches, taking one ankle up. You could do spinal twists, dropping knees down to one side. Or there's even a hamstring stretch here where if you kick your leg up and catch it, you could hold in that hamstring stretch for a little while. So play with variations that just feel good for the body for a moment. Keep on enjoying this until you reach that point where your armpits are starting to tell you, okay, I'm losing the blood in my hands, at which point you'll straighten your legs back. That'll be your way to tell me how you're doing. Good, so straightening the legs back if you haven't gone there already. Let's take a moment just to clasp hands behind our back and then pull the arms away from us, away from the glutes. That nice shoulder stretch, maybe the head tilting left and head tilting right. Good, releasing the hands. Let's free our way out of the fabric. Fabric can drop out in front of us. And just that easy stretch, bending at the waist, sending the shoulders forward, a nice 90-degree angle, grabbing on about as wide as the shoulders. There's movements you know to take, like cat-cow or wagging your tail left and right. Take some movement. Another good breath in and out. Good. Rising up. And here what we're going to do are several back-to-back leg stretches, but especially hamstring stretches, just back-to-back, just several in a row. So we'll start off with right ankle in. Make sure you're not too far back, otherwise the balance will be kind of precarious. But with the right ankle in, try to let this leg go straight. And what we're going to do first of all is that Golgi tendon reflex. So we're trying to muscularly push the ankle down into the fabric. What that does is contract hamstring, making it so that we can stretch it ultimately deeper as we go. So count of 10, pushing down, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax the hamstring entirely. And then your choice, either splits forward or slide hands down. A little bit closer, that chest to the thigh. Okay, heart rises up, slide the hands up. We'll try to go for a swinging switch unless you just want to step the foot out, step the other foot in. There's nothing wrong with that one. If you're doing a swinging switch, just step the foot in, we end up out. Make sure again that the place that you ended isn't too far back that the balance is hard. Then we're gonna do the Golgi tendon reflex. So pushing the ankle down into the fabric, pushing for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax the hamstring entirely. You can either split forward or slide down, heart closer to the thigh. Good, rising up, slide the hands up, swinging switch. Make sure the balance is good. We'll get this time some of the surrounding muscles around the hamstrings. So first, left hand grabs right strand or pushes long outside of right strand. This will start to push this front leg off to the top left corner of your mat. Is the right arm, if you have balance, opens out to a twist behind. Good. Returning forward, grab onto your further left strand. We're going to turn our toes to the left. And then from here, allow the right hand to be high up to the sky. The other hand is closer to the heart. We're going to try to bend at the waist, leaning partway forward. You could drop that left hand to the floor instead if that's a better balance. Good. Rising up, grip on to help you. If the left hand wants to grip higher this time and slide up, right hand down. If you want to take the side splits, you can do that. Otherwise, just a good triangle pose is beautiful. Good, coming back. Grip one hand on each side, face forward, swinging switch. Once you're there, the twist, right hand grabs left side or pushes on left side. The other arm tries to open into the twist. Returning forward, gripping onto the right side, the left hand goes high, right to the heart, toes turn to the right side. From here, start to swivel, so we're bending at the waist. Maybe the right hand drops down toward the floor. Coming up. The right hand grips higher and slides up, left hand down, maybe splits toward the front. Good, coming back, grip one hand on each side, swinging switch. When you get there this time, take a splits forward, so we're sliding hands up, leaning heart forward just a little bit, and then our legs are sending their way forward. See if you can reconnect back to that breath in the belly. Good, coming back, swinging switch. Second side splits. Good, weight back over the standing leg, hands slide up, swinging switch. Just a brief breath or two, taking the splits to the forward direction. And then back, hop forward a little bit, opening the legs to the side. Maybe just grip on this closer strand, and then maybe splits to that side. Good, weight over your standing leg. The leg can stay straight or bend as you send the leg behind you. A moment with a quad stretch. Nobody has to do a back bend. If you don't want to do a back bend today, just stay here in the quad stretch. If you want to do the back bend, you can kick into dancers. Good, weight over standing leg. Let's see if we can swing the leg all the way forward, a little hop back to do the swinging switch. We're getting harder, I know, our strength is getting there. So once you're there, just a breath or so, forward splits. Back, hop forward, so you can open the leg out to the side, going for side splits. Good, weight over your standing leg, send the leg behind, quad stretch. You have a grip of each strand over each shoulder and just lean backwards. Beautiful. If anybody wanted dancer, you can go into it. Otherwise, just stay in the quad stretch. Beautiful. We'll send the leg all the way forward. Got one more set, gripping up high. We'll do a swinging switch. So this last one does require balance. So if your balance doesn't feel like it's that great, you'll just do a normal splits here, relaxing forward. If you feel like you're okay with the balance, go with me, but otherwise, even if you're there and you feel like you're losing balance, grip high, because that'll be what prevents any sort of damage. So what we're doing here, if you're going with me, is you start to hop your bottom foot forward, and that will begin to lift your foot. So the further forward you hop, the higher this foot is lifted. So you choose where that end point is. You can see how, if you're gonna fall, grip high, because that'll, prevents any sort of fall or whatever. So, but otherwise, just find whatever grip helps your balance. This leg is lifted nice and high, just on its own. Good, so let's take another 3 breaths. Deep into the belly, last one. Grip up high to take a huge hop back, and then a swinging switch. Got one last side when we get there. So again, if the balance is feeling super off on this foot, don't feel like you have to. Otherwise, start to hop forward. That'll start to lift the leg. You need to find the perfect spot for your body. Not too much, not too little. More breaths, deep into the belly. Good, and then grip up high to hop back. You want to do a swinging switch just to make yourself do another one, that's fine. Otherwise, just step out, you're fine. Good. So from here, we're at a good place for kind of our last inversion. So you choose, would you like a hip hang? Would you like a straddle back? Would you like another vampire? You can take whichever one feels best in your body right now. Just explore. Any other inversions you know to do are fine. Some people here that tolerate inversions more than others. That's perfectly fine. Listen to your body. Just enjoy the time here. If you come out sooner than others, you're welcome to explore. Just take another minute or two to just enjoy some beautiful stretches. Maybe some of the ones that we started with, or maybe just other stretches you need, like maybe a wrist stretch for each hand after so much gripping today. So just whatever feels good, you're welcome to take those last stretches. You're welcome to stay in the inversion. The rest of the class is really free time until you feel ready for your Shavasana sooner or later. So just let yourself enjoy, let yourself be here, breathing, good things, relaxing and open. in the Shavasana, see if you can return back to that breath that we started with, all the way down to the belly. See if you can connect each breath. It's like there's never really exactly an end to one breath or a beginning to the next. It's just continuously flow. Begin the slow journey out. You can start just by deepening the inhales and the exhales. Introducing little movements back to fingers and toes. Ankles and wrists. Movements like we're waking up. Maybe that's stretching the shoulders left and right. Or maybe it's taking fetal position to each side. Your choice entirely. Take the next minute or two just to keep on moving, wiggling, stretching the body. Eventually, when you feel pretty complete, you're welcome to come up toward a seated position, nice and comfortable. So here with that idea of hibernation and realizing we can slow down a little bit. We don't have to be so rushed from point A to point B for our whole life. We can especially use these colder months to slow down, to tune in, to really focus on self-care. And so with that idea, and us being extra gentle on ourselves today, with that to lead us on, let's wrap up the time we got to share together with the sound of Om. Deep inhale now. May we be filled with light and happiness and peace. Namaste.